Remember 2 years ago when we first saw this game at E3? The world was blown away. Now we take the initiative to see how this will do in the video game market. This game is WatchDogs, Ubisoft's answer to Grand Theft Auto and Sleeping Dogs. The E3 trailer from 2012 showed us something that is the game to look forward to. Does it live up to the hype? Let's find out. The game takes place in Chicago sometime in the near future, and the general theme involves hacking and vigilantism. You can use your phone to control the lights at intersections, you can disrupt communications, listen into phone calls, read text messages, and steal money from bank accounts. It's a very simple system, but I think it goes too far in this regard. You can buy anything you want in the game as early as you want. Money is so abundant that it's almost worthless. Just hack everyone you come across, it's that easy. The people just seem very simplistic. Just walk around, hack everyone you can find, and take their money, unlock vehicles, and find out about potential crimes happening in the area. Find the perpetrator, wait for them to show their intent, and stop them. There doesn't seem to be an instance where a potential crime was never going to happen. You stay out of sight and just wait for the queue to intervene. There's no, oh, let's talk it out and resolve our differences without violence. No, they always attack. Chasing them down improves your reputation with the people, and this reputation allows you to do anything you want in the city without anyone calling the police. Unless you do something really stupid like pull out your weapon and shoot people in public. Speaking of which, the police also seem very simplistic. They just shoot you or try to run you off the road. They don't attempt to arrest you as far as I can tell. They don't even try to pull you out of your vehicle. And for some reason, they don't attempt to chase me if I'm in the water. A boat can outrun a helicopter, so it's very easy to escape. I also haven't seen any police cruisers around, just patrolling the streets, so I can move around anywhere I want without getting into trouble. Driving around feels weird. It seems like no matter what car I'm driving, I can crash into anything I want and just push everything out of my way, no problem. I found this harder to do in other games. It just feels weird to me. The combat is a typical cover shooter. It's appropriate for this game since it also lends itself to the stealth aspect, where you're usually trying to avoid confrontation and just hack your way into everything. You need to hide behind things. You also have the non-lethal takedown option, which is basically press a button and watch the animation. Actually, you don't need to be stealthy. Just kill everyone. Unless the game says you have to do a non-lethal takedown, you can just kill everyone. It's very simple. In fact, much of the gameplay is very simple. But the one thing that really stands out in my opinion is the multiplayer invades, or whatever it's called. The first time this happened to me, I never knew this was another player. I never read about it or heard about it from anyone, and when I found this guy and he took off running, I thought, this is weird. He's not running away like the AI normally does. I eventually figured it out and I thought, this is cool! So, there's PvP in a single player game. There's also different game modes like racing against another player. It's optional and does provide you with some upgrades, but there will be times when, in between missions, someone will invade your game and you have to take them out before you can do anything else. Again, this is really cool to see. But aside from that, WatchDogs is very simple. I used that word many times already, but I can't think of another word to drive home that point. I think it's an okay game as it is, but it's not the game we were led to believe it was. It has its moments, but everything is so simplified and somewhat predictable. I was hoping the hacking aspect would be much more important than the gunfights in the game. It would have been cool, for example, to manipulate and blackmail my enemies, like blackmailing a guard at the gate to escort me into the building instead of sneaking in or killing everyone. All the hacking is really used for is to augment my car chases and firefights. There's also a lot of controversy surrounding the differences between the E3 trailer from 2012 and the game we have now, plus a lot of other bad stuff. So, how will this ultimately do in the video game market? We'll continue to hear about this game over the next few weeks. There's just so many things you can do in the game, and every time someone finds something new or interesting, they'll post about it on forums or social media, and it just gets out there. The controversy surrounding the E3 trailer is that the final game is missing so many of the things that were in the trailer, even though they were minor things like the wind blowing against your coat or the fog inside the party. These small things add up. And why bother showing people these things if they don't appear in the final game? On top of that, there's a plethora of really silly bugs in the game that should have been caught and fixed with simple playtesting. People don't leave or enter the trains at the train station, and that's just one example. I doubt these will be fixed, so the next few weeks will be all about this sort of discussion, possibly a patch that deals with the frame rate, but the gameplay itself will probably not improve. In a few months, expect lots and lots of DLC. Improvements to the game? No, since they already have our money, but they would like to have more money. The pool of players for multiplayer will shrink because people will move on to a different game. I found it difficult to find players already with an average wait time of 2 minutes to find someone, and this will only get harder because people will get tired of this game. WatchDogs is still an okay game in its own right, but it's not the game we believed it would be. It feels like a simplified version of Grand Theft Auto for many reasons. The go-to excuse seems to be consoles. The game is available on PC, this generation of consoles, plus the last generation of consoles. They basically make one version and get it to run on all platforms, so it's basically designed around hardware that's almost a decade old. PC was supposed to be the lead platform according to the dev team, but we can now see that this is not the case. I would appreciate it if companies would just be upfront and honest about what the game is. They don't have to show us fake effects and gameplay to impress us, but then again, this is what sells AAA games these days. Shiny graphics and complex physics in trailers, PR spin up the ass, all to get you to pre-order the game. And people say all they care about is gameplay. They don't. And for this reason alone, WatchDogs will be a massive hit. They'll sell millions of copies, they'll sell tons of DLC, and people will complain about the game afterwards. I'm also a little concerned that these big-name developers simply focus on making the game good enough to ship, what with all the problems in the game. 1 or 2 silly bugs was amazing a few years ago, but when you show me a video packed with more than 50 of these things within a day the game launches, you just have to wonder what their budget was spent on. The $60 price tag is not worth it. We'll take a look at this game in a few months. Thanks for watching.